First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Cheng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tupten Darshi. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group of the ceremony today, Sakyamuni Buddha's Usnisha's bright radiance manifestation, Usnisha Vijaya Buddha Mother. Sumo Tanjan Gato Tupten Siddhi Tupten Kama. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma tutors, temple and center directors, and everybody, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon. How do you do?
I stayed. Siang hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Estoy. Ichiban. Kimochi. Jumi. Yapi. Puri puri. Konnichiwa.
Now I would like to announce for next Sunday on December 31st. So that would be the last day of 2023. Sunday at 3 p.m. there would be Kala Chakra Homa fire offering ceremony. The mantra he has three colors: red, white, and blue. The body, blue body. Three kinds of colors. The red should represent the red Bodhi, and the white represent the white Bodhi, and the blue represents Qi, or subtle vital energy, and the mudra Kala Chakra in Tibetan Tantrayana it's common among the four sects of Tibetan Tantrayana and highly revered. When I was transmitting Kala Chakra, Master Tupten Tarji kept telling me that you need to spread Kala Chakra Dharma or Tantra to the several continents and countries in the world, and I followed his instruction.
正佛中的弟子
true Buddha school disciples
知道我跑了好多国家传这个
most knew that I have gone to many countries transmitting the Kalachakra Tantra.
两本十根金刚法的
There are two sadhana,
上师给我
one given by Master Dubden Dorji, and the other one
甘珠佛果
was given by
甘珠佛果
the Ganju
图登尼玛
living Buddha
甘珠佛果
from Dubden Nima,
给图登尼玛
Kanjuku Rinpoche or living Buddha transmitted to Dubden Nima to Dubden Dali, and Dubden Dali to Dubden Dorji, and Dubden Dorji to me. That's one sadhana.
另外呢就是大家教
And the second one is through the Sakya sect or Sakya school
上
from Master Sakya Zhengkong,
传给我
who transmitted it to me,
十根金刚华本
the Kalachakra sadhana. So I have two books of Kalachakra sadhana.
在这个可以讲沙婆世界
We can say in the Saha world, the one
藏密的祖师
or the ones transmitting Kalachakra Tantra,
达赖班
like lineage gurus like Dalai,
外共
Panchand, and Kong Tang Chang from the Lapling temple, the living Buddha, Kong Tang Chang,
还有白教的
and also from the Kagyu sect, Kalu Rinpoche,
十根金刚
they had transmitted a Kalachakra Tantra.
这个华人好像是说华籍的，
And of the Han descent,
讲的汉人，
we
传
called
金刚法
the Chinese Han
没有听说过吗？
of the Chinese Han people. Have you heard who has transmitted Kalachakra
得
Tantra?
到这个法的时候，
When I received this Dharma,
周
I transmitted it in several continents.
阿仁波切
So Kalu Rinpoche
我的照片
took my photo and said,
传密法，
this is a Han Chinese who transmits Tantric Dharma in Mandarin Chinese,
照片放在他的头顶，
very highly revered. Kalu Rinpoche placed my photo on his head.
另外黄教
And the
甘
Gelugpa,
赤巴
Kanchen Tripa, the 100th Kanchen Tripa,
十根金刚法，
knew that I transmitted the Kalachakra Tantra,
他也到过我们西雅图
and he had visited our Seattle Lizang temple.
黄教甘丹赤巴法王，
So the Kanchen Tripa Dharma king of the Gelug sect transmitted Dharma together with myself. Which Dharma was that? Do you remember?
甘丹赤巴
Kanchen Tripa.
我们两个一起，
We both conducted
白教的法吗？
a ceremony, and I was wearing a Kagyu crown or hat.
我们一起说法，
And Kanchen Tripa was sitting next to me, and we give Dharma teaching together. Which Dharma did we transmit then? Nobody
我
remembered.
老人家忘掉了，是可以原谅。
It's forgivable for someone old like me to forget,
忘掉，
yet you, the younger ones, forget. Please raise your hand if you were there.
手举高一点，
Raise your hand higher.
单单赤巴第104，单单赤巴。
The 100th Kanchen Tripper.
查不出来。
Nobody could find it. It's okay. Take your time.
找到了，
You found the information?
传一级火母，
It was Ekajati. Ekajati. And that's the protector of Nyingmapa,
叫三大
the red sect. One of the 3 protectors in Nyingmapa.
白教，
Ekajati.
我穿白教的，单单赤巴
And
教的，
I was wearing Kagyupas,
除了班禅
and Kanchen Tripa is Gelugpa.
赤巴，
So in Gelugpa, other than Dalai Lama and Panchen Lama, Kanchen Tripa is considered the head of the Gelugpa.
里面最年龄最大、最有学问的，
So
就被选上单单赤巴
only those with the
中塔巴
with the most years and the most knowledgeable can be elected Kanchen Tripa to represent Tsongkhapa, Guru Tsongkhapa. There are 3 parasols in Gelugpa, one for Dalai, one for Panchen, and for Kanchen Tripa. And there was another time I was with the head of the Sakya school, Tachin Rinpoche. We conducted Homa together at the Seattle Lechang Temple. Anyone attended?
沙迦教的教主
So the head of the Sakyapa,
达乾仁波切
Tachin Rinpoche,
一起做护摩，
and I conducted Homa together,
用很大的护摩，
and we used a huge Homa burner
跟沙迦教的教主一起做护摩。
and conducted Homa together with Tachin Rinpoche. That was long ago. There were not many people then,
很早的事情。
very long ago.
那是做什么护摩？
What Homa did we do then?
哦，那要问原因才知道他到底是做什么护摩。
So it was conducted by Lien Yin, so we have to ask him what kind of Homa we did.
人都是很健忘的，
So people are forgetful.
都会忘掉，奇怪。
We always forget. So strange.
忘了也好，
It's good to forget too,
忘
because
忘掉，
forgetting
就会达到无念。
can make you reach the state of no thoughts, devoid of any thoughts, and you've forgotten everything, including your afflictions. It's best that you forget everything.
放在身上，
Why do you want to carry it with you?
折磨自己，
That's a burden
什么都忘。
then you inflict it upon yourself. So just forget everything. So that means a sweep of both generosity and animosity. The moment you forget it all, that radiance will appear. By merging into the clear light radiance, you would have attainment.
教讲的，
Tantrayana, in the beginning, talks about practicing the path, spiritual cultivation.
是修道，
We practice the path,
再来呢，
and then we see the path
开悟了，
or see the Tao, and that is called
开悟了
enlightenment.
以后怎么样？
And after enlightenment, then you merge with the path or merge with Tao, and you're in union with Tao. Once you're enlightened, you need to merge with the Tao or the path. That's called the union with the path. And lastly is to prove the Tao or the path. To prove or to witness the path. So practicing the path, seeing the path, merging with the path, and proving or witnessing the path. 4 stages, very important. Actually, at the beginning, when you practice meditation, the key point is in the samadhi, as I said, about single-pointedness, focusing on one thing. Don't have any thoughts. Any thoughts disappear. All afflictions disappear. And you focus on one thing. So this is called single-pointedness. Sakyamuni Buddha has said, being single-pointed, you can achieve anything. Lao Tzu too states, if you can concentrate on one thing, everything is achieved. Do not be distracted. No distractions, no disturbances, no bondages. And be single-minded, and all troubles and problems disappear. This is the most important way to liberation. Have you read the Yoga Sutra? That's Indian, belong to India. That's been transmitted 7,000 years, since 7,000 years ago. There's the so-called Hatha Yoga. The Yoga Sutra has 4 versions. One is Hatha Yoga, and then Shiva Yoga. There are 4 versions, and then one most important one is to treat Shiva as the supreme god of yoga. Nowadays, the so-called yoga is the physical exercise to use your body to practice, but the true yoga, the ultimate concept is also focus and concentration, single-pointedness, to receive the bliss of samadhi. So the ultimate objective of yoga is to receive the one taste of yoga samadhi. So actually it's also called the Qi exercises. So in Tantrayana it's called the Vajrafist exercises. And it's also a kind of practice of moving energies. Dupten Chi-en also did a lot of yoga. Breathing practice and yoga practice complement each other. Some people say you train in the breathing practice first before the yoga. But according to the Yoga Sutra, you first practice the the yoga before the breathing practice, but some people the other way around. So, Alan, where did you learn your yoga? Could you please stand up and share? Where did you learn your yoga? Singapore. What kind of teacher? Indian teacher. That's right. Yoga Sutra came from India. Very famous. The famous one is called Hatha Yoga. And also Shiva Yoga. And two more. I have read the Hatha Yoga and Shiva Yoga. So you were taught by an Indian teacher? Yeah, you did it well. And Grandmaster is the best. I'm just so. We have a disciple called Dupten Chien, and his breathing practice and the yoga practice is very complete. If you want to learn, you can learn from him as well. His breathing practice and yoga practice is very good. Dupten Chien. Why is he called Dupten Chien? Because he has paid homage to Dupten Dorji, but he did not pay homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming or Master Sakya Tsung Kung, the Shong Rinpoche, or His Holiness the 16th Karmapa and Master Dupten Dorji are four of my tantric gurus. So today we perform the Homa of Usnisha Vijaya. This is truly amazing. As I said, the mantra. That's her true mantra. That's it. That's good enough. Transmitted. Transmitted by Master Pu Fang. It became Blin. Actually, it's Broom. When we chant Om Blin, Om Blin, Om Blin, actually, it's actually Om Broom, Ah Broom. Usnisha's Vijaya's shortest mantra, very easy to chant. A brilliant, bright light. Anybody has seen Usnisha Vijaya Buddha Mother? Please raise your hand. You did? Please stand up and share. You closed your eyes earlier. It turned out that you saw. Please say something. Homage to Grandmaster. The Homa today is incredible. I could not exit from Samadhi. The power was so strong. She has three faces, and the clear light radiance was very dazzling, brilliant. And I felt hot, and all the channels and chi all flowing smoothly and open, filled with Dharma joy. I felt unborn, like unborn endurance, felt bliss, felt very hot from tip of the head to the toes. That's good. We have snow flurries outside, and you felt hot. And then let's get some heat from you then. Grandmaster's attract magnetism was too strong, and the Buddha Mother appeared, and the power was very strong, and she descended upon my body. When Grandmaster was talking about Kalachakra, I felt a white belt and yellow diamond rings appeared. So every deity is real. They always appear. Anybody else who saw something? Xiaofen. Homage to Grandmaster in reply. When I came around 9 in the morning, she's been sitting there on the mountain across. And then when Grandmaster came, when Grandmaster walked in, there are many protectors lining up in white, blue, and black. And now around Grandmaster, I can see a rhine. It's round and it's rainbow colors. So Grandmaster was in it and surrounded by all the protectors with the Dharma implements, all resounding. It's incredible. During Homa earlier, Grandmaster's Dharma power is truly incredible. And your little disciple, I saw many of Grandmaster's Dharma bodies salvaging in war zones, hells, and other places. That's my little witness. And what I'm saying are truthful. What you said was what with Dharma Sister Cai Hong match. Dharma Sister Cai Hong once saw Grandmaster's Dharma bodies in other places also transmitting Dharma. And Master Lian Ci also saw that. And so they were all matched without being planned. So let's not discuss too much more. So Usnisha Vijaya Buddha Mother is truly great. Every time I perform Usnisha Vijayas, I always receive many spiritual responses. And she is the Vajra who obliterates Mara. Amazing power. She's a manifestation of Sakyamuni Buddha's Usnisha. And that's Usnisha Vijaya Buddha Mother. Usnisha is the protuberance on the crown that radiate bright light. Let me share a joke. Xiaoming complained to his mom, how come I'm the second generation poor, the second poor generation, and not the rich second generation? And mother seriously told him, no, you're not the second poor generation. Oh really? Was there a secret I don't know? And the mom nodded her head and said, from your grandparents, now you're already the 18th poor generation. Not the second generation, but the 18th generation in poverty.
小明发现
Xiaoming
追
discovered
女生
courting
小偷，
ladies or chasing after girls
小偷追到了，
are
可以管
worse than chasing after thieves.
追到了，
When you got the thieves, then you can get back the stolen stuff. But when you chase and caught the girl, that you start losing
有一个未婚
money.
的男士到
哦
婚友社报名，便开出条件， 很长，
A man went to the dating agency and states his requirements: long legs,
非常的
big round eyes, smooth and soft skin.
都是墨水
There are lots of ink in her head, which means
粘的
cultured, and love to stick to people.
AI 呢，很快
And the AI found the prospect, which is octopus.
有一个喝酒醉的全裸的男子，
A drunk, completely naked man
计程车，
hailed a taxi in the middle of the night, and the taxi driver was a woman.
经走这个裸
And the driver continued checking on this man,
被看到
the nude man, the naked man, and the man
看到不好意思，
felt embarrassed.
男人裸体吗？
You've never seen a naked man before? And the driver, the female driver, finally said, "Hey, I was just checking.
住我的车子，
You're in my taxi,
掏出
but how would you pay? Where did you get your money? Because you're completely
叫计
naked."
程车，那你钱放在哪？
And you get on the taxi, and then where's your money?
在看你的钱到底
I'm checking. Where do you carry your money?
妻子问丈夫，
The wife asked the
什
husband,
么时候才能够住贵一点的房子啊？
"When can we live in a more expensive
千万买就是
home?" And the husband said, "Don't worry, your wish may come true soon." "Oh, that's great. When?" And the husband replies, "Oh, our landlord has said that he's going to raise the rent next month."
会住贵一点的房子。
So they live in a more expensive house.
好了，我们进入问
Now we'll do the Q&A.
台湾莲花人和。
Question from Taiwan, 莲花人和。
我们生活中台湾各道场
Various Tribhuda School Dharma centers in Taiwan every year jointly organize animal release ceremonies. However, in recent years, I have noticed certain aspects that seem inappropriate. The so-called animal release is to rescue lives,
被屠杀之前，抢
intervening to save them from slaughter and setting them free.
生法会
Regrettably, our animal release ceremonies seem to deviate from the spirit. The organizing committee typically purchases fish fry in advance.
不买，
These fish fry are not at an intermediate risk of losing their lives, and even if you don't buy them, they may still be
其长大
bought by the industry and placed in fish farms where they can survive for several more months before they grow big enough for sale.
无数的恶
However, we buy them and release them into the Sun and Moon Lake, and the lake is home to many predatory fish, such as the tiger fish, which preys on this fish fry.
人家本来
So we release them, but they become prey for the tiger fish, while they could have lived a few more months. But now we are delivering them into the mouths of the tiger fish. Grandmaster, is my concern correct? Please advise. Question by Lian Hua Ren He.
放生，
Animal release.
真的是很难讲。
It's very difficult to say.
莲花人和所讲的也有它的道理。
What Lian Hua Ren He said also makes sense.
求知夜谈有一种
You buy the fish fry and then release them into the sun and moon lake, and there's a tiger fish who especially eat those fish fry.
不要放到日月潭，放到没有
So by releasing them there, they would be eaten up. So you should find a way to release them
呀，
into different lakes.
放掉长流水的河里也可以。
The green lake
鸟是淡水，
or the streams.
还要注意
So you need to pay attention what kind of fish fry they are.
淡水的
Are they saltwater fish or freshwater fish?
鸟就要放在咸水，
So if they are freshwater fish, you should release them into freshwater, and
放生，
vice versa for the saltwater.
放生就是放生。
So
那么
you are rescuing
我
them from
放生
slaughters.
放生是有功的。
So I personally feel that releasing animals generate merit.
天吧，
Several days ago,
天那个潘静师姐
Dharma sister Pan Jing
跟她很
brought 2 birds.
拿2只鸟，
She has many birds at her house, and she brought 2 birds in a bird cage for Grandmaster. Very beautiful birds and chirping around. But I apologize because
我是没有经验，
I have no experience raising birds.
小时候有经验，
But when I was little, I have raised a chicken because my home did when I was young, and then there was a bird flu, so we stopped raising chicken. But I've never raised any birds before.
看到那2只鸟，
So when I saw those 2 birds, what I thought of was a yakitori, which is barbecued bird.
我又不会养鸟，
But those 2 birds were too small, and I don't know how to raise them.
那种鸟不能放生的，
And want to release them? We cannot release such
放到哪里去？
that kind of birds.
很 cute，
Very small and cute.
笼中鸟，
Looks like they're cage birds. They would not know where to go if we release them.
能够放生，
So I cannot release them.
做养鸡托的
I cannot make them into yakitori,
烧鸟，
a barbecued
不能做养鸡，
bird.
我又不会养，
And I don't know how to keep them either.
到最后他自己收回去了，
So finally, she brought them
他
home,
带回家了，
brought them back to her home.
自己养吧。
Well, it's better if she
要放生也要
keeps them herself. So that's why
入真情的一种，
to perform the animal release, you have to check.
那个一放生，
But such
没有规矩，
beautiful,
他就过来。
elegant birds, if you release them, then they may be attacked by the crows.
也是一种学问啊。
Then they would be dead.
真的放生，
So there's
另外还
a
有
lot of considerations in animal release that we'll discuss in the future. You cannot make them die. There is a Buddhist group that think that they should treat everybody equally, so they release poisonous snakes, many of them.
然后他跑到那个田野的地方，
They collected, we don't know where they collected from, and then release these poisonous snakes in the wilderness.
对，还是一个问题。
But was that right? That's a question. Should you release the lives of poisonous snakes?
在
Is Bijan here?
毕生毕业，
Bijan and Bien.
你知道有放毒蛇的吗？
Do you know
有没有？
the people who release poisonous snakes?
鼻炎他不讲话了，他不敢讲话。
Bian always doesn't dare to say anything. How about Bijan?
你知道有放毒蛇的吗？
Do you know those who release poisonous snakes? Please give her a microphone.
在新闻上看过，
Yes, I saw it in the news.
是啊，
Release poisonous snakes.
这个是村庄里面，他们
他跑到村庄里面去放毒蛇。
Release the poisonous snakes in the villages.
在台湾，
I saw it in the news in Taiwan.
你看毕真就敢讲，毕燕
Bijan dared to speak, but Bian
什么都不敢。
does not dare to say anything.
真正有人放毒蛇。
Really, there were people who released poisonous snakes, and they placed it in the cloth bags, and then release them in the villages. So the villages now are inundated with poisonous snakes. Was that right? Because they believe that all sentient beings are equal, even the
到底应该
poisonous ones are also
我也不能讲。
equal. So should we release them
按照维
to be free? I don't know. Because according to Vimalakirti, sentient beings are equal. What can you say?
放生是个学问哦。
So this animal release requires quite
这是慧君的想
a
法。
knowledge. This is Hui Jin's joke. Hui Jin said, "Let me tell you a secret. Actually, I'm an angel. I'm staying in the human world because of my weight. Entirely because of my weight."
慧君就火大了。
Hui Jin would be mad, and then she would start checking who's heavier than she is.
今天我去超市买东西，
Today I went to the grocery store to buy something and saw a monk
吃的用的， 和尚
pushing a cart filled with everything. And I thought this monk was very rich. And then at the cashier asked, "So is it cart or cash?" And he said, "Amitabha,
真是来化缘。
I'm here for alms round."
叫这个和尚
Let's ask this monk to go to California.
我们讲的摩羯经吧，
Now let's talk about the Vimalakirti Sutra.
有点就好。
It's best if we just talk a little bit, because talking too much about it would be tiresome.
啰啰嗦的，
Because Vimalakirti is really very, very wordy, very verbose. It's so long.
行与是念处，
Although practicing the fourfold state of mindfulness, not permanently departing from the pithy teaching of body sensation, is the practice of a bodhisattva. We need to understand first what is the four mindfulness or fourfold state of mindfulness,
阿含经
which is part of the 37 aids to enlightenment, which came from the Agama Sutra.
观身不净，
Observe that the body is impure. Observe that the sensation is suffering. Observe that the mind is impermanent. And observe that everything has no self.
是念处，
Those are the four mindfulness. Spiritual cultivators should be mindful that the body is impure, sensations are suffering, the mind is impermanent, and everything has no self.
你修行
Although you are cultivating spiritually,
莲池上是讲
like what Master Lian Tzu has said,
得到无生法忍，
that she has attained the unborn endurance. That's the fourth ground, or eighth ground bodhisattva.
菩萨是不退转菩萨，
So that's a non-regressing bodhisattva.
七地还退转，
The eighth ground and above, non-regressing. Seventh ground and below, still regressing. So the eighth ground bodhisattva is unborn and no endurance. So when you're unborn, there is no bondages, no bounds. You have realized about birthlessness, then you have no more afflictions, no more attachments. That is the fruition of the unborn endurance.
行是念处
Although you are practicing the four mindfulness
是一个有情的菩萨，
and you are an ill bodhisattva,
你也不离开，
but you also not,
不进，
you don't depart from that the body is impure and sensation is suffering, the mind is impermanent, and Dharma or everything has no
单
self.
谈身不净，
Just talking about the body is impure.
头呢会长头皮屑，
Let me give you examples. There would be dandruffs on the head and athlete's feet on the feet,
上面的东西呀、都有屎啊，
and there's excretion from the eyes, from the ears, from the nose,
那个唾液，
and from the mouth.
如果在空气里面很快的，
If the saliva stays out in the air, would rot very fast.
你说哪里
The whole body is filthy.
最脏啊？
So where is the dirtiest? Is a human being is the dirtiest. And the skin pores would excrete sweats, and then in the armpits, and the mouth has bad mouth odor, and the two holes underneath,
小号
one for
没有一样不臭的，
defecation, one for urination. They're all very foul and filthy, very dirty, the body.
戴念珠啊，戴个念珠，
Someone is wearing the mala beads,
把念珠摆在
and then they said that I don't want to go to the bathroom with the chanting beads. I have to take it off and place it aside. But you don't know that the chanting beads are so long and it touches your intestines, and inside your intestines are poops. Is there a time when your body is clean? No, human beings are very dirty. The organs,
人死啊，
especially when humans die, and the death water that
那种臭啊，
exudes was so foul, stinky smelling.
以前有一个
The forensic doctor in Taiwan called Yang Rusong,
经常还要知道这个人怎么死，
to know how someone died. He had lots of experience. All he did
出来的血
was just to
把里面沾了一些，
taste
知道这是
a little bit of the water that flowed
最后
that flew from the body,
生
and at the end he died from death marks, poisons.
人的身体真的是很肮脏的，
So human bodies are truly filthy.
只是不净，
So therefore bodies are
没
really
有哪一个人身体
unclean.
除了
There is
香水里有。
there is not one person who's always fragrant unless they use perfumes, but the perfumes, that's faking.
这个刷牙刷得这么勤，
That's why I am very diligent in brushing my teeth or cleaning my teeth. That I brush them so much that I lose a lot of the animals or the teeth enamel. Which one, Gui Qing? Which teeth? She's a dentist. Huh? Thank you. All good. Thank you. But Grandmaster is fragrant. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, that's Taiwanese paise. Sumimasen.
はじめてよろしく。再来。行きましょう。はじめてよろしく行きましょう。什么意思？
What does it mean? The first time I meet you. It's nice meeting you. Let's go together. And then, let's get married.
结婚啦！我到了日本了，我就会讲日本话。
When I go to Japan, I automatically could speak Japanese. Very strange. In Taiwanese, I could speak a little bit, but as soon as I got to Japan, I would remember that I spoke Japanese in the past, and then I could just continue speaking in Japanese. So every time I go to Japan, then disciples wanted to buy medicines, asked me to help. I have been reincarnated in Japan before, but I forgot. I forgot them all. Tokugawa? That's a huge, the grand figure who combined the three kingdoms. You didn't mention the other two. 3 countries. Wow. And Tokugawa. So Tokugawa wrote in his diary, he wrote the first statement was that never trust a woman. I think it's Tokugawa wrote that never trust woman. Amitabha. So this Bodhisattva is wearing a celestial garment, and it's always clean, always pure. It doesn't need to be washed or cleansed. There's never attract any dust. They can be worn all their lives. When bodhisattvas reach the 8th ground and above, their spiritual cultivation realm is already quite high, and they walk like the wind. They have their dignity. And they're clean everywhere. So They don't have impure or unclean body. They don't suffer.
根本没有病。
Why not? Because they have no illness. When you reach the eighth ground, they don't feel any kind of sufferings, and they're not affected by impermanence. They eternally exist, and they're not regressing. And lights all over them, fragrance and lights, and purity, no suffering. Bodhisattvas on the eighth ground and above are all like that, and yet they still do not abandon impure body, impermanence, and although he has reached the state of no self, but he still experiences all those. Only then is a true bodhisattva. So what's being talked about here is the same as by Mother or Saint Teresa. And Mother Teresa said, even when heavens are there for me, I will not go there. I'd rather stay in the darkest places to help and salvage sentient beings. And it's the same as what's spoken by Siddhikarma Bodhisattva. If I don't go to hells, who would go? And mentioned here is that only they are bodhisattvas. So practicing the fourfold state of mindfulness, and then if you want to renounce them, that's not right. But you're still amidst that body is impure, sensations, suffering, everything is impermanence and has no self. Only then that is a true bodhisattva. Although practicing the four right efforts, not forsaking the diligent practice of the body and mind is the practice of a bodhisattva. The four right efforts are about good and evil. If you have evil, then you have to cut it off right away. When you have no negativities, then you prevent them from arising. If you do not have good thought, then you want to generate good thought. And once you have good thoughts, then you want to increase or enhance the good thoughts. These are the four right exertions or efforts. Once you practice these four right efforts, then you can go to heavens. You can go to the heavens. So in Buddhism, avoid all evil, do all good. Avoid all evils and do all goods. If you have bad or evil thought, you have to stop it right away. And if they don't arise, you want to stop them from arising. And the good thought, if you don't have good thought, you want to generate good thought. Once you have good thought, you want to increase or enhance the good thought. These are called the four right efforts. The point is in diligence, that you want to be very diligent to manifest them, avoiding evil and doing good deeds. If you do them every day, then in the future you will rise to heavens. You will go to the heavenly realms. So you want to practice the four right efforts, but not forsaking the diligent practice of the body and mind. So physically and mentally, you want to be diligent in practicing all Buddha Dhamma. That's four right efforts. That's very important. It's very difficult to ask people to do good. It's 5:11. We have some program tonight, lots of them. They've been practicing all day, so I should not spend too much time then. This is Hui Jun's joke again. Her dad asked her, other than eating ice cream, what else can you do? And Hui Jun replied, I can buy ice cream. When Hui Jun is here, then we'll make jokes of her. It's kind of dirty. Today, at the emergency at the hospital, there was a 6-year-old kid, and then he ate a live cockroach. But the kid was brought to the emergency not because of eating the live cockroach, but because of his grandma, who's afraid that the cockroach was alive, so she gave him the cockroach killer. Oh, Mani Benny Home.